morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. We'll begin today's session. There's the first question. A 12 by 12 by 12 centimeter wooden cube is painted and its 4 views are shown here. The cube is sliced into 64 smaller equal sized cubes of 3 by 3 by 3 centimeters. How many of these small cubes will have exactly one green face and exactly one orange face in the same cube? Okay. So we are given here the 4 views of what that cube looks like, which means 3 of the faces are orange and 3 of its faces are green, based on this much data that is given here. Now we are supposed to find the total number of cubes that are that has one green and one orange face exactly. Now we have to first decode how this cube will be divided. All right. So in this case, the division will be pretty clear. It will be, because it's 64 cubes of getting formed of equal size, the division will look something like this. Okay. Now, when you divide it like this, say for example, if you look at this edge, the cube in the corner has 2 green faces and 1 orange face. Okay. In the corner has 2 green face and 1 orange face. On this corner also it will have the same 2 green and 1 orange, or 2 orange and 1 green, either of them. But the cubes that are there in the middle, 2 cubes that are there in the middle have basically 1 green and 1 orange face exactly. So one edge, what I get to know is one edge which is shared by green and orange edges have basically 2 cubes of the given conditions. Now, if you look at this part, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 such edges. Why 6 such edges? Because this is all orange, which means obviously the 3 other faces outside, on the other side of these faces will be green. So these are the edges which have the shared part, which is 1 orange and then 1 green happening on the back side. So there are 6 such edges, and each of the 6 edges has 2 cubes, which has 1 orange and 1 green. So that accounts to a total of 12 cubes that have exactly 1 green and 1 orange face in this case. Okay, we'll move to the next one. The following figure is cloned and the cloned figure is reflected along the XY axis. How many rectangles are present in the resultant figure? When I clone this figure along the XY axis, how many rectangles are present in the figure is what you have to find. So this is how the complete figure will look like, and this is how the division of the cube of the rectangles will happen. So in the first, individual rectangles will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then 2 more, 1 here and then 1 the internal cube, so 2. Then 1 the bigger rectangle, and then the smaller ones, 2, 3, and 4. And then you have 3 cubes, 1, 2, and 3. Then you have these rectangles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course the bigger rectangle, which is the 5th one. And then you have the linear rectangles, 1, 2, and then 3. It adds up to a total of 25 rectangles. Okay, we'll move to the next one. We're given here 2 equations. Based on the given 2 equations, you have to find how many parrots is equal to 1 elephant. First, we'll write down the equations. So parrot plus 2 fish is equal to 4 elephant. Second equation says 2 parrot plus elephant is equal to fish plus parrot. Can also be written as P parrot plus elephant is equal to fish. Now we have to eliminate fish here. So we multiply this equation by 2, so we can eliminate the 2 fish from here. That's why. So 2 parrot minus 2 fish is equal to minus 2 elephant. This I put it here. 2 parrot minus 2 fish is equal to minus 2 elephant. I add it up. This gets eliminated. So 3 parrot is equal to 2 elephant. Therefore, elephant is equal to 3 by 2 parrots, which is 1.5 parrot. So correct answer is 1.5 here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. The object shown in the box, for the object shown in the box, which option identifies the position of a center of gravity correctly? Okay. So center of gravity is basically the point from which you can achieve balance, or rather distribution of equal weight on 2 sides of the object, or across all the 3 axes of the object. Now in this case, the thickness of the object is fine, so we don't have to worry about this dimension more, but we'll have to define it. So here this object is made up of 2 parts. One is this upper cuboid and the lower cuboid. The center of gravity of the upper cuboid will be somewhere in the middle, which is the diagonal intersection. And that of the lower part will be actually also somewhere here, again along the diagonal. What it means is the center of gravity lies at the middle point. When these two combine, the center of gravity lies at the middle point, which is somewhere here between those 2 intersections. So correct answer is option D here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. The image in the box shows the 3D object. From amongst the options below, select the one that shows the same object from a different point of view. Which of the options shows the same object from a different point of view? Now, in this case, let's look at the options first. So what exactly is happening based on the position of this part and this part is this object is first rotated like that along this axis, 90 degree. And then it is, after that rotation, it is rotated along the XY axis by 180 degree. So that's why this comes in the front, this goes at the bottom, and then it gets rotated again by 180 degree because of this orientation. Now, when that happens, this S looks something like this, okay? And then when it goes back, that has to look something like this. So based on that position, one can say option A is the one which is wrong because of this. Next, B, C. In case of option B, this C and this C is orienting towards one direction, versus in the question figure, they are both orienting towards each other, or rather inwards. So B is wrong because of that. Then between C and D, we look at this part. So what happens here is when this gets rotated by 90 degree first, it rather looks something like this. Okay. It looks something like this. And then we rotate it back, which means this niche comes on the other side and this comes here. So correct answer is option C. D is wrong, which shows just one rotated version of it. Right? We'll move to the next one. The circles in the image contains letters from F to V for purpose of identification of points. Directions are encoded in the statements below in such a way that northeast or NE stands for northeast, NNE stands for northeast, and so on. If all the options, if the following statements which are given here are true, select the correct representation of these statements in the given options. Okay. So what exactly is happening here? Let's go by statement to statement to statement. It will be easier. M is northeast of G. M and G. G is the reference. M is northeast of G. So this is M and G here. M and G, M and G, same for ABC. D is different. So with reference to G, M is north, northeast. North, यहाँ पे in option D, south, southwest. So D is wrong. A, B, and C are fine, with reference to G, M is in the north, northeast, not a problem. Next, we move to the next part, which says L is south, southwest of N. L is south, southwest. L and N happen here. L and N happen here. L and N happen here, and L and N happen here. So, what is different between A, B, and C is this option. This option which is different, where the orientation is changed. What you're given is L is towards the south, southwest of north. Of N. यहाँ पे N के reference में L is towards the north, so C is wrong because of this part. Next, P is northwest of K. P and K is same in both, so let's not look at that. Next, we move to U is south, southeast of O. U is south, southeast of O. यहाँ पे that is different. U is south, southeast of O. So this is the correct orientation. यहाँ पे वो U north में है, so this is wrong. The correct answer is option B here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. 4 bins are labeled 1 to 4. If the objects labeled P to Y are to be thrown in respective bins, which of the following combination is correct? Okay. A says P1. P does not go to 1, P goes through 3. So it should be P3. So this part is wrong. R2, B says R2. R2 is fine. T1 is fine. X is 4. X is 4 is okay. S3 is fine, recyclable. And P3 is also fine, recyclable. So B is not a problem. Option C says Q2. Q goes to 4, not 2, so that is wrong. And D में S1 दिया है. S goes to 3, we have already established that, so D is wrong because of that. Correct answer is option B here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Below is a set of pictures that shows a variety of arches used in Islamic architecture in India from 7th to 17th century. Select the order in which the design of the arch developed. So the design of the arch developed as, so this first comes 4th. This is the 4. This came first, then 1, then 3, and then finally 2 came. So the correct answer is 4132. Option A is the one which is the right answer. We'll move to the next one. The word given below is written in a specific font. From the options, choose the word that belongs to the same font family. Okay, when you look at the word and the letters which are given here, there's one error that we see in option A where it is not tangential, versus in the question figure, all the letter ends tangent to the curve. A does not end tangentially to the curve, so A is wrong here. Okay. Between B, C, and D, in C also, that same error gets repeated here, and also this knot which happens on top is wrong. It has to be something like we see here. So C is wrong because of that. And between B and D, because this has a very nice curvature on top of it and no right angle diagram, the matra on top of it will have some kind of a curvature at the end. Therefore, option B is the one which is the right answer here. Identify the option that will replace the question mark. Which option will replace the question mark? So in this case, what happens is it is going in a snake pattern with repetition. So this much part is getting repeated and it goes in snake pattern. So this is one chunk. This is the second chunk. This is the third chunk. This is the fourth chunk. And finally, the fifth chunk, which means what I mean is these four parts are continuously getting repeated. So obviously the missing part that we are looking here is the third figure, which is this one. So correct answer is option A here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Shape P is folded along the dotted lines to form a shape Q and then folded to form shape R. Then identify the pattern on the back side of P. Once you have drawn this, identify the pattern on the back side of P. This is pretty straightforward when we do it. It's just one-way fold. So this part, this curvature which is folding here, when inverted, mirrored in this fold, becomes like this. So straight away, wherever that part is happening in that curvature, it has, because ऊपर वाला आपका curvature है, it's a curvature like this. Therefore, it has to look something like this. That happens only in option B. Therefore, B is the right answer here. An image strip is cut into 4 pieces. You have to identify the correct sequence that will complete the image correctly. What is the correct sequence that will complete the image correctly? Okay, here we basically trace the edges. When you start tracing the edges and start keeping the images below, you will find that the correct sequence appears like this as R, P, S, and Q. So correct answer is option D here. All right. This will end today's session here. I thank you so much for your time. And guys, do like and subscribe our contents. Thank you.